stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you because I stand tall like I'm on my tiptoes, baby. You think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Hey, where the money at? Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get it and split it with my kinfolk.
Oh, how we doing today? That's a Big Mood. Or no, that's Mood by Big Mood Attitude. And I'm into it. This is some good rap music we got going on. Episode 47 coming at you. How we doing today? We got a banger of an episode today. A banger of an episode. Later on in the episode, Brad has his version, his story. We'll have a little sit down. He has an interesting story about sexual allegations with Andrew Cuomo. A little before that, I'm going to talk about me joining the teachers union, the California Teachers Union. I got some great ideas I can be bringing out in there. Just saying. We also, we have an interview from the late and great Sid Vicious. God Save the Queen. Very relevant right now. That song's up, number 10 in the charts, so that'll be a good one. Also, is it fucking over yet? God, the nagging of Women's History Month. I'm fucking over it. Jesus Christ. Episode 47. How's Brad doing today?
Good. My name's Brad, he, him, and it's going good today. Fucking, it's 60 degrees out, and coincidentally, Bitcoin's at 60K, so we're fucking smooth sailing.
To the moon!
Hell yeah. How's it there? Just rainy and depressing?
Oh, dude. It is the best goddamn day you could ask for here in Oregon. It is fucking money. I started doing some yard work yesterday. I'm doing this retaining wall out front of my house. Oh, I was loving it. Had the fucking Beatles playing, fucking drinking a beer, fucking shoveling. Fucking neighbor Greg walks by. How you doing, Greg? Oh, pretty good, My wife just keeps getting bigger,
Yeah. Penny Lane is in my ear.
That song came on yesterday, and Penny's running through the background. I was like, oh, how perfect. Just
Jesus
a perfect,
Christ.
The baby boom. What was the 50s called? The Atomic Family? Just like the perfect Atomic Family fucking scene. It was beautiful. I need like a 1946, Chevy pulling into the driveway, fucking.
Yeah, Paperboy.
Apple pie in the window, Yeah. Wave at the old wife. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that is nice. That's a nice thought. Just wait. I'm just over here waiting for my stimmy. Just waiting.
Oh,
for
the old stimmy, son. That old stimmy. Hey, you got the stimmy?
Just give me that stimmy, please. Fucking ready for it.
My girl got hers yesterday.
Yeah, some people have. I haven't got mine yet. Son of a bitch.
Dirty dog.
I'm actually anti-stimmy. I know that it's a unpopular stance to take, but
anti-stimmy.
I'm anti-stimmy. Just looking at and Googling what's the U.S. debt at, because I didn't know. I thought it was probably somewhere between 15 and 20 trillion, and I'm like, it's just too much money. I'm just anti-stimmy. You're just fucking over your grandkids. So I don't know.
I hear you hacking, Hair Bear.
What do you think? What do you think it's at?
The national debt?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I liked your number, 20 trillion.
I thought I remember in high school it was at like 7 trillion. It's at 27. I'm like, Jesus,
sounds right.
Dude.
Sounds right.
It's like if this was like on the street and you were 20 and you were that much in debt, like eventually someone's gonna come break your legs. Like it's
one
gonna
of these
happen.
days we're gonna need to do a deep dive on how like through this podcast I have learned how like shorting a stock, like I've gotten that pretty cemented in the head about how that works. The debt, I don't understand that. I've always kind of wondered it too, and I've never done a deep dive and like really explained how the national debt works. Because to me, you hear that number and it's like, well, that means someone is out there, breaking people's legs. Like, you got my money. You get, someone loaned the money. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
Who's loaned the money?
Yeah, who's loaning money? And like this idea, they have. You're getting into fuzzy territory with, we've taken our money isn't backed by gold, but then are other countries' money backed by gold? And if we borrow money from those countries, like it just doesn't make sense. And then what happens with if you owe this amount of money? And let's say the economy starts crashing, or your economy crashes versus the economy that you borrowed the money from. Does that change any? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense
to me either. But it's like, if you got money from a loan shark, like eventually they're gonna come break your legs, or you're gonna have to go kill them to get out from under this.
China's gonna be hello.
Yeah.
Knocky, knocky, and then you're gonna be like, hey,
I'm gonna have to fucking
who's there?
Kill this.
Waka!
Yeah. Or you're like, I'm gonna go find them and fucking kill them so I can get out of
this.
Yeah. It's
either
either two options.
Knock and just Brad, go around the back.
Yeah.
Go around the back. No, grab the gun. Grab the gun. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, buddy? And then bang!
Those are the only options.
Then you drag him under the deck, fucking, and then Canada goes driving by all slow. Just, hey, you seen China around here? Just, no, it's been a few hours. I haven't seen China at all.
Yeah. Exactly.
You in Mexico, fucking little Mexican dude comes out from the back there. Javier, get back there, get back. No, we're good over here.
But people want that stimmy.
They want that stimmy, son. That Chinese heavy metal stimmy, or precious metal stimmy they got going on. Yeah. I know it has something to do with China. Those dirty bastards.
Your next stimulus is going to be in yen.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh, got that.
This
Wednesday
is St. Patrick's Day. So before the show, you said you were going to be drinking green beer and just as much green beer as you could drink on Wednesday. With a 4-leaf clover hat on.
Hell yeah, bud. I got a 4-leaf clover hat, but the 2 clovers that come out the sides have beer holders in them. And so I can do my gardening while I hold beer.
Green beer.
Yeah, green beer. Yeah, exactly.
Gross. Since it's on a Wednesday.
Daylight savings tonight. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, that's right. That is exciting. Thank God I'm not working. Since I work every other weekend, I was hoping that it was going to fall on a weekend that I wasn't working so I didn't lose the hour. Because you lose the hour. So.
Oh.
But I don't know, daylight savings is fucking weird.
Hey, with kind of the daylight savings, fucking, I know it's a totally different thing, but, continuing the conversation of things we know nothing about, how much do you understand about leap years? Now, this is a brand new thought I'm having right now, so I haven't done any research. Like most things I talk about, no research has been done. But it's like every 4 years, right, is the leap year.
Yeah.
Is there... I just heard recently, and it happened in our lifetime, but I don't remember anyone talking about it. In 2000, it's like, it has to do with the leap years, and I guess every so often, there's another problem that comes up in the calendar, and they have like another day fuck up. Like, is this true? Do you know anything about this? I was hearing it in a book, and I'm like,
well,
what?
I remember Neil deGrasse Tyson explaining the leap years. Just you add the extra day every 4 years to sort of keep the calendar adjusted with like the rotation of the Earth. How every year is actually 365 and a quarter or something like that. So then 4 years, the quarters add up. You have to add the extra day to like even it all out.
Yeah,
something
but then
like
it sounds like every 100 years or something like that, you have to actually skip the leap year to like make up for another imperfection with it.
So weird. It's fucking crazy.
I started Hannibal Rising, the book. Interesting book. It's hard to get into. I don't know.
Is it scary?
I don't know if I like it. It's Hannibal Rising, so it's the whole where I'm at right now. He's still a fucking child, and they're in the middle of World War II, and so like there's Nazis and Russians and just all this dark shit's going on there. But they talked about the leap, and they're doing lessons, like teaching him shit when he's like 6 years old, and that was one of them was like they're talking about the leap year shit, and he's like doing the math on it, and he's like, well, actually in 2000 it's gonna be I can't remember the name of it. I wish I would have wrote it down. This certain word, and they're like, so actually you don't skip the day, and I was like, I don't remember that. I mean, in 2000 I was only 11 years old. So I probably wasn't paying much attention to leap years. You know what I mean?
I was not.
I don't think
I was
I've ever remembered a leap year. They talk about it, and I never remember it ever coming up.
It just happened like 2 years ago.
No
It's
one
when
told me.
You have February 29th.
No one told me. No one told me about it. I just looked at the calendar like February 29th. Fucking awesome.
It says to compensate for this discrepancy, the leap year is omitted 3 times every 400 years. In other words, a century year cannot be a leap year unless it's divisible by 400. Thus, 1700, 1800, and 1900 were not leap years, but 1600, 2000, and 2400 are leap years. That's fucking weird.
So, do you ever heard that? Because I'd never heard that.
No,
before.
I never heard that. It's hard. That's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, and then something else that came up in this book that I found really interesting, and I don't know why I don't know why no one's ever like told me about this or that it's come up, especially like in construction. It obviously wouldn't be a useful thing in construction to try to do like precise measurements off of, but in the book, in like one of his lessons when he's a kid, he measures how tall a tower is by measuring its shadow. And I was like, okay. And then the teacher's like, well, how do you know how tall it is? And he's like, well, I can measure this thing over here and measure its shadow, and I know how tall this thing is. So then I can just do the math to figure out how tall that thing is. And I was like, God damn it. I don't know why I've never thought about that. That's fucking smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you get have you ever heard that before?
No, but that makes sense.
Yeah, you just like, if that's fucking 1 foot shadow and it's 1 foot tall, and that's 50-foot shadow, you know that's 50 foot tall. I was like, right. Interesting. But then in the book, they got a little bit more detailed. They're like, well, did you do the math for the rotation of Earth during the time it took you to measure that shadow versus that shadow? And I was like, wow.
Fucking...
Wow. I was like,
Yeah,
well,
how
that's what
accurate do you
Hannibal's
need to
doing.
be?
That's what fucking Hannibal, when he's cutting brains out, he can't just like not take into account the fucking rotation of the Earth. What is this? What is he, fucking Pee Wee Herman? God damn it.
It says 2024 is a leap year. So, yeah, 2020 was a leap year. I remember it because, like, twice I've posted on Facebook during the leap day where I'm like, today shouldn't count or whatever, everything you do. It should be a free day for everybody. I've posted that multiple times, so I remember leap days. It's fucking weird.
I remember Facebook. I remember those days. When I was a young lad. Facebooking.
Yeah, Facebooking.
Kind of like the
Facebook.
rotary phone. We've been having this fun game at work where there's a kid that's 22 that works there. So we spend all day trying to come up with things from the 90s that he's never heard of. And we stumped him on one. He's like here and there on some things. Rolodex. Didn't know what a Rolodex was.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck.
Yeah. Any youngins out there, you guys know what a Rolodex is? Huh? You might have to go ask your parents on that one. Guaranteed they had one. Fuck, and then I realized, why don't I have one? I'm an old man. Where's my fucking Rolodex at? Don't they give those out? Like once you hit 30, you go get your fucking government issued Rolodex? Boop, 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 boop.
No. Rolodex is crazy. I had to have someone explain to me the other day how the fucking... I was trying to take a thing of a QR code, and I kind of couldn't do it as easily as you should be able to do it. I don't like, frequently take pictures of QR codes. So I searched through my apps on my phone trying to find the QR code app, and I didn't have one. So I went and downloaded the app to take pictures of the QR code, and they're like, you just use your camera on your phone.
I don't think old phones... What phone do you have?
S9?
Dude, I swear to God, my
S10?
S9... I swear to God, so this S9 didn't do that. You had to download the app. I swear to God. Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear I tried that. And then as soon as I upgraded to the 21, I was like, oh, nice.
No, mine
'Cause
S9 does it. All
now
you
you go
do
to restaurants and they don't fucking have menus anymore.
exactly.
You got to
Yeah,
QR
yeah.
code that shit.
Yeah, because I was in a training class for work, and they were like, there was a QR code up on the board, and they're like, everybody do this to sign in or whatever. So I had to go find the QR code. But then I went to a restaurant later that day, and the lady's like, no menus, just use the QR code on the table. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm using QR codes more today than I have in my entire life. So I'm going back to my app, and then our listener Chris is just like, just open your camera and just point it at the QR code. You don't have to take a picture or anything. You just point it at it, and the link just pops up on your screen. And I'm like, I didn't know. Sorry.
I
I'm
swear to
fucking
God, that's
slipping.
a newer thing, though. I think that's a newer phones. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
It worked on the S9. Maybe it's an update.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to Jersey Mike's yesterday,
Okay.
and I'm standing in line, and maybe this will tie into our dishwasher debate. But I'm standing there, and I've had this thought in the last few years watching restaurant or food service people work.
Mm-hmm.
They all suck. They all fucking suck
Yeah.
now. And I don't get it. I remember back in the day, I had a friend named Tiberius, and we worked at Burger King together, and we'd have competitions on how fast. So the way Burger King worked, it was fun as shit. We'd always have, you have a main line, so you have a specialty line, which was all the chicken sandwiches, chicken nugget, like pretty much all the chicken products on the specialty line. And then you had a main line, and then you had a drive-through line. And the drive-through line and the fucking main line faced each other. And you were like using the same, you could pull like the burger container out, and then he could pull the burger container out the opposite way, you know, to like get patties and shit out of it. And we'd always be racing, you know, who could make a Whopper like the fastest through it. Dude, and me and him were down to like under 10 seconds to do a Whopper. Like we were fucking blazing. Like I mean, that's, for a year, it's all you fucking do is make. So you just get so goddamn fast at it. And we loved it. It was fun as shit. Like, how fast could you get that shit out? And I just sit there and watch a lot of food service workers. I was like, I literally don't think you could go any fucking slower than you are. Like, it drives me fucking, but just like standing there, and they'll just grab one tomato and just, and then next tomato. And then it's like, fucking put the tomatoes on the sale. Like, what is wrong? Like, come on, get some speed going. How are you? What is wrong with you? There's a fucking line of people here. And you're going at snail speed. And it's always, the worst is when you, and I kind of remember being this kid, you know, your first job, and you're like scared to like take any initiative. You know what I mean? Like you're, but it's like, I just want to slap that kid. Like, fucking go. Fucking stop. Like, they're like looking over the shoulder over some girl. Like, well, is the
oh, dude,
two pieces of, is that and they just like stand and they're doing this. It's like, oh my god, just fucking do your job, go faster. It drives me nuts. I want to go back there. I'm like, I don't even know how this process works, but I could beat all of you at your job in 1 hour. Give me 1 hour, I'm gonna beat all of you at your fucking job. You could take tomatoes and move your hands faster than that. And fucking get some. And then when you see those unicorns, those like kids, 19-year-old kid there, fucking making a sandwich, and he's got the speed, and you're like, good job, buddy. Good job.
It's weird. I feel the same way, I guess. I mean, there's like the McDonald's here seems pretty fucking streamlined and fast.
McDonald's does good. I don't know what they crack they're giving their employees. McDonald's is the best at speed ever. They obviously,
it's just streamlined.
They're streamlined. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lines at McDonald's are never so. It's not like a Chick-fil-A line where it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, I had the worst experience I've ever had in my life at a restaurant recently on Valentine's Day, and it was infuriating because I can tell. Look, I can tell when I'm a customer in the restaurant. I can tell what's happening. I can tell what's happening in the entire building, right? I can tell by the time what food I see coming out, I can tell what's happening in the kitchen and stuff like that, and the whole thing. And I'm like, this place is fucking mismanaged as fuck. This is not a well-managed place. I can tell you that in 2 seconds. It's like,
Yeah.
you guys need to fucking go. When 20, 30 minutes has gone by and no food has came out of the kitchen, it's like, this is not how it's supposed to be done. I can tell, it's so easy. This is not the right way to do it. But yeah, I had that vibe back then too, how we were all like, it's like we were going to battle before the fucking dinner rush came in, and everybody was like, it's time to go. Like, everybody assume the positions, like it's time to rock and roll. And I felt like that same kind of thing when I talked to people who worked at other restaurants or other fast food places. Like, everyone was like, people wanted to tell the battle stories of like, yeah, then this table came in, then we ran out of this, and like, it just felt kind of I don't know what the sort of vibe is now, but some places you're at, it doesn't even seem like you're dealing with human beings. It's like, what is the fucking holdup? Get your shit together.
There's too many fucking blue hairs at these jobs. I felt bad because I'm watching all these kids make sandwiches, and I'm just sitting there tearing them apart in my mind. Like, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Like, come on, hurry up. And then I get to the last person in line, the cashier, but she's dabbling with like wrapping sandwiches and then taking her gloves off and doing cashier stuff. And she's got the fucking, 90s Drew Carey glasses on. And then blue hair, and fucking, I'm judging hard already. I'm like, I know who you're fucking voting for, as soon as you turn 18, and fucking, and I'm like, you're like, come on, we can go faster than this, even the checkout ladies fucking, being slow with checkout, and fucking, and I'm talking shit in my mind, and I don't know what it is, and then I felt instantly bad for judging this person so hard because she wraps the sandwich and then she's holding the sandwich in this hand and her hand just starts like twitching super fucking hard, like back and forth. And I'm like, and I was like, okay, that's uncontrollable what she's doing right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what disease that, or, what affliction that is that she has. But then I felt bad. I'm like, oh, God damn it. You're beating this woman up in your head, and she's got like some kind of crazy medical condition. That's why they put her on the register, because she can't be putting tomatoes on.
What a dick.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I would treat it like an athletic thing. Like, this is a game that's about to start. Like, ready, set, go. You get your shit. You're in your like battle uniform. I have my playlist that I've been working on that's perfect and curated to me, and it's ready to go. And it's like, you're sweating, and you're like, this is a workout time. Like, get ready for the workout.
Oh,
Get ready
it's so
for the game.
fun though too. Like,
it is fun.
It sucks when you start getting beat. When it gets overwhelming. That is one of the worst feelings ever, because then you just feel like giving up. When those tickets when you can't break the tickets out and they're going twice as fast as you can get the tickets to pull off, you're just like when you're doing something, like when you walk off your line and you're like you need something done and you need 15, 20 seconds off your line, and you're like doing something on the side and you just hear that receipt machine. And you look over at it like, what the fuck? And it just and you just like kind of stop and look at it like, no. Like, they're fucking with me up front. They're fucking with me up front. And then you hope that it's like fuck up receipts to, they're like, oh, cancel this item, and you know what I mean? But if you're like, if that's all orders going on right now, just
we're fucked.
Yeah, you're like, it's done. It's over. Fucking bend over now, because we're fucked. You start having nightmares. You have nightmares of that receipt machine.
Yeah. I remember telling me they had a nightmare where they were like chained in on the line, and that machine was just going, and there was like bars on it, like they were in jail. But yeah, you have that. That's stressful as fuck to think about. But
God, I miss restaurants. So like the funny, great things that happened. I remember at Trinity we had this sous chef. He was a really good friend of mine. And he was, into it serious or whatever. And fucking, we had this waiter. We called him 007 because he looked like, or he was a bar person. And fucking, he comes back, and I don't remember exactly what was said, but fucking, he looks at him. The sous chef looks at 007, and is like, and 007 was a big boy, like fucking, and did, worked out, obviously, had nice sculpted arms, like just, probably 220, big guy. And the sous chef was not such a big guy. He wasn't a scrawny little boy, but fucking he wasn't nearly as big as 007. And he fucking fires a shot because, you're always firing shots in front of the staff. When shit starts getting hectic, you're like, that the fucking, it starts parting ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start fucking really hating front of the house. And front of the house really starts hating back of the house. And fucking he fires a shot at 007. He's like, don't you fucking blah, blah, blah. And 007 fucking doubles down and like, you want to fight? Right now, you know what I mean? And the whole kitchen just like, oh, and he's like, I'll fucking come back there and beat your ass. You know what I mean? And fucking sous chef's like, he's pissed, but then he realized like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, you could scream and yell, but then the dude like doubled down on it. Like, you want to scream? I'll fucking come back there and beat your ass. And he was dead serious. And he's just like, everyone in the kitchen like, oh shit. Like, it's about to go down. Like, it didn't matter anymore. That receipt machine going, everyone's like, oh, 007, 007. I don't know. Just those fun memories, man. Just, that was good days.
Yeah, it gets tense sometimes, for sure.
Back when life was simpler. Those simpler times.
And then it's like fucking 100, feels like it's fucking 200 degrees, and you're like, God damn, it's hot.
Can we open a window up in this place? God damn.
Yeah, and you're like, fucking... So when it's that hot and someone's, it's like, God, she's chose today to be this bitch today. Fucking shut up. It just gets tense.
Yeah, I had a buddy call the front of the house girl who was pregnant. Like, she walked back and said some shit, and then my buddy goes, hey, what's up, Tubbs? And she had a full fucking meltdown.
Oh, you
in the
said
middle
that.
of...
Yeah.
Did I say that one?
Yeah.
Full meltdown.
Yeah, the first time I called a woman a bitch was in the restaurant.
Nice. Felt good, didn't it?
No, I felt like a dirty fucking piece of shit.
Even in the moment, like right in the moment, it didn't feel good?
No, right after. Right after, I was like, oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then it gets tense.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever called a woman a bitch. When I'm to that point, I go as hard as I can. I've called a few cunts. I've dropped the cunt one a few times.
Never dropped that.
It's like,
yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like once I'm to the point if I want to yell at a girl, I'm all in. It's like I will fucking I'm going down with this ship. You fucking cunt. Like just not bitch. Bitch is like you're not quite there yet. You know what I mean?
No,
like you're mad.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad enough to like sink my career mad. So I'll just let it all go. Just like, okay.
It's like I sat down in the pool and put my legs in first and then just kind of flopped in and you just cannonballed.
Yeah, I came running in from the rooftop like, whoa, and fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fuck.
I was in Ace. Go ahead. I was in Ace yesterday. Oh, my God.
Okay, you were an Ace.
I was in
Doing
Ace
what?
yesterday. I was going to get. I was washing the truck. So, and I guess I used to have a brusher. It's too hard to fucking hand wash the truck. I gotta have the extension, brush thing.
Okay.
To get like the windows, it's just too much to get the hood. Whatever. So I go to Ace with that. But I've been sitting on hold for about 20 minutes trying to get through to the radiology department at a hospital for the finger. And so I'm sitting at home and waiting. And I'm like, I'm going to just start doing shit. And I just put the earbud in, you know what I mean? And I'm just sitting on hold doing shit. And like, I honestly kind of forget that I'm even on hold. It took so long. You know what I mean? There's just this like, and I'm just kind of, and so I fucking leave the house, drive to Ace Hardware, fucking walk in Ace Hardware, bam, right when I'm grab my item, fucking, hello, sir, you there? And I'm like, oh, and then so I'm having this, and I keep the earbud in, but it's like, it's with the earbud, I don't know what it is, you can't help but like elevate your volume, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but I feel like she's going to have a hard time hearing me or something. And like, I'm like, oh man, everyone in this store is going to hear this conversation right now. But I was like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? I'm having this conversation right here. This is how it's happening. I just waited 20 minutes for this. I don't care what anyone around me thinks about what's happening right now. So I like elevate my voice a little bit. And for some reason, like I feel encumbered, you know, because I got my mask on. I just take my mask off.
Yeah.
Didn't even fucking think about it. So now I'm walking through Ace Hardware, having this loud conversation with no mask on and just walking around. And that may not sound that crazy to you hick folks, you know, you deplorables up north, burning books in Idaho and everything like that. But down in these here parts, that's fucking murder. That's murder, you know. And like people walking by and no one fucking says anything, but I notice it. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, what am I doing right now? And I put my mask back on. And then once the phone call was over, I'm like, man, what a time we live in. Like, you know, just it was so thought provoking. It was just like, I just about had a heart attack because I didn't have my fucking mask on. And that's ridiculous to me that I had a heart attack in the first place for not having a mask on. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was
like
weird.
you would have had less of a heart attack if you were just stealing things.
Yeah, if I was walking around and my dick was hanging out through my pants, I would have been like, oh, well, whoops. But fucking you take your mask off into the goddamn world. Dude, people this summer are going to have fucking sunburns, mass sunburns. I haven't even thought about that. They're just going to have a white fucking mouth. You're going to have a bikini mask are going to start being a thing, you know, like real slender mask, you know, just
G-string mask.
G-string mask.
No, I was in a store the other day, and I couldn't find somebody. I was wearing a mask, and I couldn't find somebody else that was wearing a mask.
Well, you're living in God's country up there, so be thankful.
So, well, I'm still wearing one. Maybe I'm crazy. Then I feel crazy.
I'm so done with the mask thing. Dude, here in Oregon, people are doubling down. I don't know if you guys are getting the news. Let us know, you Idaho folks that are listening. But it's been on the news pretty nonstop. I haven't actually listened to the report. I've just been hearing tidbits about a lot of people here in Oregon are talking a lot of mad shit about people in Idaho right now. Because I guess there's these clips going viral that are a bunch of Idaho people burning masks and shit like that. I haven't seen the video. It's in Boise?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah, and people here in Oregon are like, you fucking redneck dumbasses. Like, we're over here doing our part, and you over there just fucking it all up. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson came out and had that fucking tweet about... it really didn't make all that much sense to me. It was like, having some states where you require your mask and some states where you don't require your mask is like cleaning the bathroom and like pissing in the corner or something like that. Like it was. So he took kind of a stance on Texas and Idaho, you know, doing their thing, saying we're done with the mask.
Yeah. I mean, I see people in the store without one, and I see some people in the store with two, and I'm like,
I'm outside doing yard work yesterday, and there's people. I mean, it's not even a thing anymore. I mean, we've said it on the show, but it's just they'll be walking their dog by themselves, walking down the fucking street with a mask on. It's just like, what? Like, okay,
people
bro.
Now the vibe kind of seems like you're not doing your part if you don't get the vaccine, and I'm like, I was kind of under the impression that like not everybody was gonna get it, but now I kind of feel the vibe is that like everybody's gonna get it. Like everybody's supposed to get it.
Well, that's what they're going for. It sounds to me like they're going to make it to where you can't get on a flight anymore unless you have a fucking vaccine, which that is so fucking bananas to me. If that really is how it goes down, I've lost all fucking faith. Like this is so 1984, it's ridiculous. Like I don't know how much more bananas and Black Mirror shit can get before we're like, okay, enough's enough. Like if you need an app that shows that you have a vaccine and they're going to stop you from going places or going into businesses, like this is the hardest argument, and I know we've talked about it on the show, of like being a libertarian to like allow private businesses to do whatever the fuck they want. Right. It's a hard argument because with an airline
like
company,
United Airlines is a private business.
They can do whatever the fuck if they want to have an app that requires you to do it. Technically, part of me is like, fucking, then fly a different airline. You know what I
Right.
mean? But that's the
Right.
problem is when, that's where Democrats and Republicans start coming back together on these circles of arguments. You know what I mean? Is
Yeah.
once things get hardcore enough, you like meet up. You meet up on certain topics, and this is the meetup. Is you can go so far right, with an argument of being a libertarian and absolute freedom, but then once the monopolies like take over in that capitalist, you have to like inevitably stop and be like, okay, this is ridiculous because now you're infringing on my rights to be, you know what I mean? It's gone so far
Yeah,
one
yeah,
way
yeah.
that we need to have some fucking kind of law here to stop these companies from doing what they're doing because it's
Yeah.
just gotten out of fucking control.
Well, and then I thought I saw something being like, oh, this company is now working on the pill of the vaccine in a pill form. I'm like, well, that seems a little easier. I don't know. I live alone and I work alone. It's like I don't feel like I need it. I'll wear the mask, but I feel like eventually it's just going to go away, right? I don't know.
No, it's just no. They're saying it's going to be like the flu, right? Like we're always going to have this now.
Maybe
I feel
should
like we
get it
just
then.
keep flopping every few months. It just becomes a new thing. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying it for the whole time this is all bullshit because for the first month, 2 months, all they were talking about was none of these new conversations about COVID. The original fucking argument, why we need to shut everything down, why we need to social distance,
So that it goes
is
away.
is so that we don't overwhelm the hospitals. That was their original fucking argument. And everyone realized like, well, if there's a sickness, it's going to spread. You're never going to stop it from spreading. You're never going to
Yeah.
really stop the death tolls, but we need the ventilators open in hospitals so that if you get it, you can get treated in a hospital. Not
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And it's just morphs and I swear to God, every 2 or 3 morphs, it's just a new argument on why we need to wear masks, on why we need to be shut down, blah, blah, blah. And now it's a vaccine. Now we're on the vaccine stage of this. It's just,
Yeah.
it's fucking bananas to me. There's going to be another fold to this. Another fucking,
Yeah.
because they're saying, again, don't listen to much news, but they were doing the press secretary was coming out saying, you just got to shut down for 180 days. That's all we're asking is 180 days, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, that's not all you've been asking. You know what I mean? This has been a fucking continuous thing. And you're acting like, Biden and them are like, we're just asking you for this little bit. And, this is all we're asking you. No, there's been this whole fucking last year of bullshit. People are just sick of it. I don't. Sorry for
I
going
can't
on
believe
that
it's been a
tangent.
year. No, it's good. I just don't want another stimmy. Can we just fucking... This country needs to learn how to budget. It's not that hard to budget. We're spending like we are a crackhead who has found
This
a
is
blank
why-
checkbook and is just signing fake checks away and
Yeah.
to all their friends. And
This
it's
is
like,
what happens when you don't teach this shit in high school. Now all the high schoolers have grown up and they have real jobs in government and they still don't know how to balance a checkbook. They're just like, oh, what? Dig the printing machine out of the back office. Let's fucking make this baby go. They're taking credit cards over here. They're like, wait, can we get a second credit card? Oh, we're
Yeah.
good. Okay. Does it have airline
Yeah.
miles? Fucking perfect. Well, let's pay off. Let's get this credit card. We'll pay off this credit, and it's out of control. It's out of control.
it's like some guy in California who has a Ferrari and a giant house and all this stuff and nice watches, but has no money and is completely living in debt. That's a microcosm or whatever of the United States of America. That's just
Yeah.
how they're living their life.
Yeah.
And it's like, just budget. If you don't have the money, you can't do it. That's all it is.
Yeah,
And you want
pretty
to
soon-
save more than you spend.
Pretty soon, America's going to take its Lambo down to Vegas, going to put it all on fucking black, and then about 3 hours later, fucking blow its head out, in a fucking
Yeah.
hotel room. Fucking
Yep.
hotel security's just going to sweep that shit under the rug like nothing happened here.
I say we just start selling off land. Just pick like 3 states and
shut
just sell it for 27
Shut your
trillion.
Shut your mouth. To China.
That's what you do.
Just that middle, just like Ohio just turns into China. Just a little new China.
No, North Dakota, Florida, and then we'll pick another one.
You're not getting rid of
We don't
Florida.
need.
We can't get rid of Florida. We're
Yeah,
keeping
we can.
Florida. We can get rid of. Well, we can't get rid of North Dakota. That's got all the oil. Can't do that. It's got to be like. Let's just give away New York. I'm down with that one. We can just get rid of New York.
Yeah.
I think it's a fucking wasteland, anyways.
Okay, but then that's the one for 27 trillion. Someone can buy the state of New York.
I'm into it. I'm
Done.
into it.
Done.
Done.
I'll do it right now.
You got my
Yeah.
vote. You got my vote.
That's what you do. Because if you have a
I
house
actually
full of
like
things,
this. I like
if you have
this.
a house full of things like I do, like you do, like a lot of people do, and you don't have any money to pay the rent,
buys it?
grab some things and start selling them.
It's gonna be China. It's got to be China, right? They buy it.
Probably.
Russia can't afford that shit. Russia would like it. I'm sure they would.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could.
Who buys it?
27
North
trillion?
Korea. North Korea gets it.
No.
They go in their backyard and start digging up gold, and they're like, oh, fucking.
Maybe England just buys it, and they're like, finally, our time has come, and just pool all the royal family's money together.
They
And
just
they're like, "We
the
got
royal
it."
family just ditches. They're like, okay, we're done with this. They fucking
Yeah.
they sell out they sell out the fucking royal palace. What is that?
Yeah.
The Buckingham Palace. They're like, okay, we're done. This shit's about to burn down anyways, so let's fucking jump the pond.
Yeah. Something like that. So I got on this weird thing where I started to put like an emergency survival kit together for my car.
Okay, like flares and such.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took an inventory of everything I have. So I was wondering if I could read the inventory to you, and then you tell me if I'm missing anything that I need.
Let's do it.
I'm not looking for criticism. I'm looking for advice on what else I can buy. Okay.
Okay.
And I already feel like what I have, we've gotten way off the rails of extremes here.
Okay.
Okay. So jumper cables, a green wool U.S. military blanket,
Okay.
a 140 piece first aid kit, a tow strap, a folding metal shovel, 3 emergency road flares, 3 glow sticks, 30 servings of emergency dry food, 1 emergency space blanket, 2 adult-sized ponchos, 20 shop rags, and then I have a crush-proof, waterproof equipment case, and in that I have 4 hand warmers, 2 storm-proof match cases with strikers on the side, 3 fire starter blocks, 120 matches, a knife, a Leatherman multipurpose tool, 16 AA batteries, and a flashlight.
I like it. If you're going extreme, I'd add 2 things to that. I'd add an axe. I don't think you had an axe on that.
No
would
axe.
I'd add an axe, and then I'd add those the water purification tubes.
Fuck,
They,
I
like,
knew you were going to
suck.
fucking say that. The cheapest one at the store was like $40, and I'm like, I don't know. Water purifying
I
system.
just talked to a buddy because I'm kind of doing the same thing, but building a hunting kit, or hunting backpack. So I'm kind of like figuring out what I need, what I don't need. And that same product came up, the water purification thing. And then we talked about the levels of that shit. And he said he has the cheapest one, and him and a bunch of buddies drank out of like a fucking nasty pond. And they said none of them got sick. So he's like,
I've used one.
I've never.
And
used
what
one.
what I have now, I feel like I could survive for about 7 days off of this if I had water.
Yeah. I had a buddy. I know that his car was gone anyways, so even if he had a kit, it would have been done. But I had a buddy that fucking got in a car crash in between Moscow and I don't know, he was on his way up north, but he was on like a back road. He was like on a back way. I don't know, but he was in a bad spot, and it was like January, and fucking flipped his car off he had a girl that he had like just met, and he flipped his car off the road and ended up in a river, and they made it out of the river, and like the car like sank, and it was like freezing outside, and they were both soaked and barely made it. They said luckily they made it up to the road, and luckily there was a fucking a dump truck, like an old dump truck that was fucking parked there, and so they broke the window and fucking crawled inside the dump truck, took all their clothes off, cuddled up, and they had a few like jackets that were behind the seat. Well, their clothes were soaked, So they got the clothes off and then cuddled up, and then fucking they found a few like old jackets behind this dude's seat, and they like covered up with that and fucking made it till morning. And then someone drove by and they were fucking saved, but they almost died that way.
Jesus.
But yeah, so fucking shit happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe this is a byproduct sort of the shit I drove through in October or September or whatever.
You're a little scared that something might have happened there.
Yeah, and I just wanted to be prepared, and I had fun doing it, putting it all together. But then I thought maybe I need what I was looking for yesterday was some sort of backpack that comes in like that's really small that you can just unfold and you just throw some shit in and has like straps. Not like a super duper backpack, but just like a bag that you could put around your shoulders in case you have to like start walking and you need to carry stuff. And then I was looking into a flare gun, but then reading some blogs, I was like, oh, you don't need a flare gun. It's like you can buy a flare gun for like $60 with like 4 shells, and it's like required on boats to have one. But they're like in a situation with a car, you're not going to need one to like signal a plane or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need that. It'd be fun to have.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have though. I've always wanted to shoot one off. I've been wanting to buy one forever, just to go shoot it, because I've never even seen one shot off.
Me neither.
Video games.
Yeah, I saw some YouTube videos. They're cool. They like shoot up, but then they like hover and come down slowly when they're like burning really bright.
Huh.
It's like $60.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I probably don't need one of those.
Probably not.
Well, maybe I should buy the water purification system. That's a good idea. Wait, and an axe. And an axe, you said. I feel like I'm probably
I need an
done.
axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good list. My parents would be so proud of you. They've been telling me my whole life to have a fucking emergency kit in the car, and I've never fucking had one. I'm surprised by the jumper cable thing you threw on there, because doesn't every car anymore have jumper cables inside the car? I haven't been inside a car that didn't have jumper cables, like a newer car, and I think you drive a newer car, so
yeah,
like our 2014, it has a jumper cable. It has a little fucking built-in like inflatable air thing for your tire.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like a little DC plug-in thing for that.
I just have my jumper cables that I've just moved from my car to car my whole life. You know.
Hell yeah.
Those. All right, good.
Will you explain something to me?
If I can.
So, okay, this has to do with Bitcoin, because I'm having. No.
The Bitcoin and all crypto is gonna fucking pop with this stimmy.
Oh, didn't even think. Yeah, everyone's gonna throw it into Bitcoin.
Oh, that's what happened the last couple stimuluses. As soon as Biden signed that, everyone should have went and bought it then, because then it was just
fucking
gonna go.
Bitcoin fucking conspiracy is what's going on here. That's where the stemmies are going. America's taking debt out to throw it into Bitcoin, and then when they come knocking, they're like, "Can't have my password, bitch!" And they're just fucking Americans gonna go running off with Bitcoin. If you have Okay, I've never done it, but isn't you have a username and password type thing to get into your Bitcoin, right?
Uh-huh.
How does that work? Like, okay.
Oh, boy.
Because aren't there stories going around where people forget their passwords and then they can't get the money, or they try? Is it like those websites where you try your password so many times, and if you fail so many times, you can't get into your shit anymore?
No, it's not like that. It's like your E-Trade. It's like logging into your E-Trade.
You can just keep fucking logging in and trying to log in and keep trying to log in and keep trying to log in. It's never going to lock you out of your account.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I thought someone said that's how it works. Like,
I mean, maybe if they personally set something like that up, like you could do with your phone, maybe.
Oh, because then I thought that, I've never done it, so I thought that's how it was, and I was like, well, what would stop people from like entering in random usernames until they found one or whatever, or if they somehow stumbled across someone's username?
Well, the other thing is all the exchanges pretty much require two-factor authentication. Do you know what that is? where they text you
I
a
can
code.
guess at it.
They text you a code when you try to log in.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much all of them
Okay.
require that. But other than that, it's just like your E-Trade. It's just signing into your...
Okay, well then everything I'm
Portfolio.
about to say is retarded. Because I thought someone said that. I thought I was listening to a podcast and they said, oh, you only get so many chances. And then I'm like, well, what would stop someone from like if they somehow figured out like Elon Musk username and then they could just fucking log in and log in and log in until they blocked his account and then he couldn't touch $1.5 billion or whatever. And it's just gone forever.
If you had his phone, you could probably do it.
But you're saying that's not how it works. So
No.
never mind. That's a stupid. Just cross that one off.
But then it'd be like, say I logged into your bank account and I sent myself a bunch of money. You could then just see where that person logged in from. Like some computer guy.
What I was saying was nothing like
Yeah.
that though. It was the logging in part to it, to where you could get someone's account blocked by just trying to log into their shit.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
no, I don't think so. That's not.
Okay.
That's not how it works.
Okay. Daddy needs to get into Bitcoin, but I don't know. Did you see that Penna thing? It was going around TikTok. I don't even know who that guy is. Something John Penna or something like that. He's like,
No.
I just see videos of this old guy just screaming at people about their finances, and he just uses a lot of curse words. Have you seen this guy? It's like
No.
John Penna or something like that. He's like this old guy, and he's on all these interviews and shit, and he just like, you're a fucking retard. You fucking, and he just screams at people, and he's like, if you're fucking doing this, and he just screams at people about their finances and about how, I don't know.
John McAfee or McAfee?
It's Penna.
Okay, huh.
PNA or something like that. And he just screams at people, and he's this old guy, and he's always wearing like super nice suits, like ball. I think he's like some kind of millionaire, billionaire guy who like gives people advice on what to invest in and shit like that. But he just mainly just degrades people, and he's just like, you're an idiot, like da da da. But anyways, he had this one circulating around TikTok, and he's talking mad shit about Bitcoin. And he's like, I know who started Bitcoin. And he's like, there's people who know
Oh
who
yeah,
started.
yeah. I saw that.
And he's just like, if you knew who started Bitcoin, you'd fucking run for the fucking hills. Like, da 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 da.
I'm not buying that for a second.
I just thought it was funny. And then I'm in my head, like, after it, like, if he's telling the truth, who could it be? Who could it be that everyone would like throw up if they knew who started it? And the only person I could come up with was Donald Trump. In my head, I'm like, who would it be that would piss people off so bad? And I would laugh if that came out.
It's not.
I know, but if it was, it
Yeah.
would be the funniest fucking thing of all time. I would laugh so goddamn hard.
If it was
would
Trump,
make me.
if it was Trump, he would have let people know because he would want the credit for that shit.
Oh, he's playing the best in game ever. Playing the best in game ever.
No, because supposedly nobody knows who started it. It was just some guy.
Which is real fucking suspicious. Real fucking suspicious. It
well,
really
for the
is.
longest time, people thought that it could have been Elon Musk, but it's not. It's clearly not. It's just some Japanese guy. But you just don't know.
Why
who it
wouldn't
is.
he take credit for it?
I
It
don't
really
know.
doesn't make sense. There has to be. I mean, obviously now there's conspiracy theories about this. Obviously, I haven't really dug into them, but it is perfect. It's a perfect story for
Yeah.
conspiracy theory. Like, come on. Like, someone creates one of the biggest things since fucking the wheel, and no one's taking credit. Why wouldn't you take credit for that? Why wouldn't you be
Right.
like, yeah, it was my idea. Like, this is cool as shit. Like, why would you want to stay behind the scenes on it? It really
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Unless you're a shady person or you set it up for a shady fucking reason. Like
Yeah.
sex trafficking or something like that. You know what I mean? To like, I don't know. It does seem weird. Like, is it, Epstein. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good, okay, that's a new one. It's Donald
Fuck.
Trump or Epstein. That
It's
would be
not Trump.
fucking, they're over there on a private island, started that shit. He
Yeah.
killed himself. killed himself, the fucking founder of Bitcoin, Nashi Hashimoto, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Satoshi Nakamoto or something like that.
Satoshi Nakamoto. Yeah.
Yeah.
And accurate, if you switch those letters around, it's Jeffrey Epstein. What's that called?
Weird.
What's that called when you do that? I don't know. It's like an anagram or whatever the fuck that is.
Something like that.
Do. Like Tom Riddle and Lord Voldemort or something like that.
Yeah. I don't think it even I don't think it really matters who created it, in my opinion.
But what if it was this nefarious fucking character? What would happen? You know, what would happen if it was Epstein? Epstein started Bitcoin to fund the fucking sex trade. People would freak the fuck out. It would be a bananas little thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They would.
It'd be a great time
and then
to
people
buy.
People would be
I
like,
hope to God that happens. If that comes out, it all drops to zero, I'm buying a shitload of Bitcoin. Because now I feel like I'm too late to the party.
That's what people say for the last fucking 10 years. It's so frustrating. I can't get going on it anymore because I'm going to kill somebody who talks shit.
I really do think, and I think that I brought up a good point when we were talking about it, is everyone is investing in Bitcoin as an investment. And that's not the idea behind Bitcoin. So therefore, I don't think it's going to work because everyone talks, look how much money you can make on Bitcoin. Well, that's super fucked up because just that sentence alone is like degrading the whole idea behind Bitcoin. So inevitably, if everyone's using it as a way to make money, it's defeating the purpose of what the fuck Bitcoin is about. If it hits $48,000 or whatever, and you're like, sweet, I can cash out and go buy a fucking Lamborghini or whatever, this house, because I just made millions of dollars. You never were really in it for Bitcoin at all. You were using it to make American dollars. And I feel like that's 95% of people out there are using it to convert it right back into the currency because they really don't have faith in the Bitcoin. They're using it as a casino. You know what I mean? They're just in there like, fucking throw it on red, baby. Throw it on red. Clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety. And then it hits and they're like, fuck yeah, I'm out. So that's why I really have no fucking dog in the fight about it. I do think it's suspicious that the whole idea of it is different than what all the people that are like, Bitcoin's awesome. End of the day, they're still using it as a casino. And I'm just like, I think you're kind of, you're lying to yourself about what you're actually doing here and your investment in this product.
Look, I've been in it since 2017, and I've been in a Facebook group about crypto since 2017. So I've seen a lot of articles and news that a lot of skeptical people haven't seen just because they're not paying attention. And I've seen all the articles about banks and corporations that are buying like $150 million worth at a time and stuff like that, or $400 million worth, and just sort of adding it to their investments. So it's like, it's clearly not going anywhere. And also, the thing people say when people are like,
banks are
when
looking
people
at it as an investment.
When people are saying things like it's a bubble, it's going to go down, I don't understand why people think it's a bad thing if it goes down. It's a fine thing.
I guess you could argue, though, with what I'm arguing right now. You could play the devil's advocate on that and be like, yeah, but people also do that with American currency, or foreign currency trading. Yeah. And it's like, it's not that they don't have faith in the currency. They're just trading the currency.
Yeah, or they're buying stock in a company that they don't care about. They're just trying to make money, like you with Bumble. Yeah, and it's the thing.
Bumble's out the window, bud.
The thing people need to realize when they're trying to explain to me it's gonna fucking go down is that I don't care if it goes down. It's good whether it goes up or whether it goes down. I don't care. It's a good thing, whether it's whichever way it goes. And I feel a lot of those people, the people that I see online that are loud mouthing, "Oh, I love Bitcoin. I'm making so much money about it," and they post they post their wallet of what they have in there, and they have like $300, and it's like, you're the loudest one in this group, and you've only invested $300, And that has they have no. What are they going to do compared to the $400 million whale sitting over there that's just going to sit on their Bitcoin forever? I don't know.
Yeah. I really don't care. It's a fun conversation to have.
It's fascinating.
I would like to throw some money into it. I don't think you're dumb. I think you're fucking probably nailed it. You've never said you've never said your numbers.
Thing.
You just said that it's getting substantial and fucking
uncomfortably.
So I've done some guesses in my mind about looking at where it was to where it's at now, and just some guesses about how much money you've thrown in. Like, well, he's probably doing pretty good with that amount of money.
And if I lose half of that overnight, do you think I care? No. The reason I don't care is because I'm thinking I'm 20 years. I'm a 20-year I'm thinking 20 years.
In the end of this, we're gonna be 50, and you're gonna have $1 million house, and I'm gonna be fucking still bitching about this 2-bedroom single bath, and be like, well, fuck me, this investment didn't work out as well as I thought it was going to.
The two things I can't stand are the people who say they're too late to the party, and the people that say it's gonna go down. It's like I can't stand both of those things. When I told my cousin in 2018, and I told him you should buy, and he was like, that ship has sailed. And I was like, and then for the last 3 years, everyone has just been, that ship has sailed. And it's like, well, it's just maybe just because I'm thinking 20 years. I'm not thinking overnight.
You're in it, and there's a lot of people that agree with you. Wasn't it Musk that said getting into fucking Bitcoin at this stage would be like getting real estate in Park Place in the 20s or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I don't even know. What is Park Place? Is that a famous...
It's from Monopoly.
No, but it's a real place though, right?
Is it?
I think.
It's just in the game Monopoly. Like
no, I think I think it's a real fucking place.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's like, isn't it somewhere in New York or something like that?
And when Elon said, I thought that was the truest thing that I've heard in a long time when he said that Bitcoin is just a little less worse than the US dollar. And I was like, there you go.
Sorry, I'm on a Park Place. Park Place was indeed named for a park, but that park is now gone. Built over by Bali's Day, Park Place is a small stub of road adjacent to Brighton Park. Fun fact, Park Place is one of the least landed on spots in the game. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
When he said Bitcoin is a little less worse than the US dollar, it's like, yes, thank you.
Well, the people, yeah, I don't know. It's fun.
So,
okay, go ahead.
It was Thursday night. Me and our listener, Chris, went out and had a night on the town, closed the bar down, had some drinks.
Deplorables.
And there's a couple things that that people do in bars that I hate. And I was wondering if I could let you know about them.
Hate.
This is bar life things that Brad doesn't like. Okay, bringing your own pool cue to the bar.
Yeah, it's really pretentious and gay.
So, and Chris put up a good argument with me for why people do it, and I understand his side of it, but just for my life, I've always not liked when I saw that. And the people that were sitting next to me who had all brought their own pool cue, they even brought a little thing that you clamp to the side of the table that has the teeth in it so you can lean your pool cue up on, and I'm like, oh, just in like even 10 years ago or 8 years ago when I saw people come to the bar like with their own pool cue, I was like, seriously? It's like bringing your own bowling ball to the fucking bowling lanes. It's like just use. I feel like you should just use what they have there.
Was it a league or were they just?
It was a league. It was a league.
Okay, I mean,
but I've seen. Of course, you've seen people bring it when it's not fucking league. You know what I mean?
I'm half and half on this because I do.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Because I'm saying you should be able to beat me with whatever they have. I don't care if the stick's all fucked up and crooked. You should be able to beat me with a fucked up stick, like Tiger Woods could beat you with a fucked up golf club.
It is funny because you bring your stick that you're like, okay, I gotta have a stick because all these cues suck, but then
Right.
you're playing on a shit table to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you are.
Any
Yeah.
table in a bar is usually fucking trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, beat me with what they got there.
Have you ever played League?
No. Oh no.
It's God, it is fun. It is fun.
And Chris was saying like yes, Tiger Woods could beat you with a fucked up club, but if Tiger
Not
Woods is
anymore.
gonna then play
Sorry.
but if Tiger Woods is then gonna play like the next best person on the planet, then he's gonna need his own perfect thing. Like if you're bringing your like a good pool player could beat me with a fucked up pool stick, but if he's playing the next best person in the world, then
You better
they need
have
to
a
bring
good
their own.
pool stick. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
Very
just-
hacking.
I've just my whole life when I've seen someone bring their own, it's like, oh my god, dude. Anyway, it's like bringing your own bowling ball, but I guess I get the argument. And then another thing I don't like, which I feel like I might be the only person on the planet that doesn't like this, because I've seen everybody do it on every Snapchat account that I follow, and I see them do it in the bar when a bunch of people have shots, and before you take the shot, you touch the shot down on the bar. I feel like I might be the only person that doesn't want to do that. Everybody else on the planet does it when they're like clink, and then they go.
Yeah, I
not
can't.
into
I don't feel like I do that, but I guarantee I've done that a lot.
It's stupid.
I don't like taking shots. That's stupid. Just taking shots. That's stupid.
Right.
It's like how
And
fast can we get drunk?
Yeah. And the other thing that people do when they take shots that I can't stand, but I've seen on Snapchats and Instagrams, is when everyone's holding their shots up and then someone has some saying that they say that's like a repeated thing. It's like 1 shot, 2 shot, and it's like
You know what though?
I can't fucking handle that.
If Elon Musk came out on the next Joe Rogan episode and said that that's his favorite thing, you would start the
No, I
episode.
wouldn't.
But yeah, you'd
No,
be
I
like,
wouldn't.
dude, have you heard about the fucking? You'd be like, sea shanties. That was fucking last year, bro. This fucking new thing is fucking. I don't even know what you call that shit. Irish sayings or some bullshit like that. I don't know.
I do love a good sea shanty. But you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Fucking.
It's stupid.
Yeah. To all my boys who say goodnight, well, this
Oh
I
my
say
God.
and bought the diet. Well, if you grab my drink and my girl tonight, we'll have more drinks than share the night. Yeah, it's just some rhymey bullshit saying. Yeah, I dislike it too.
It's stupid.
It's
yeah.
as much as I hate sea shanty songs. That shit pisses me off.
It's not even the same
into
thing
it.
at all. Yeah, it's like suck and fuck and it's like, dude, what are we doing here? It's like Jesus Christ. Everybody's like clink. I'm fine with a cheers. A cheers is okay with me, but that's it. Like, what fucking year is this? What grade are we in? I don't like it.
So we're doing some fucking speakeasy shit around here. Pretty excited about, since we got
Gatherings?
we're not in fucking deplorable country. We gotta hide the shit we do. You know what I mean? We can't
Sounds
fucking.
fun.
It does sound fun, but I'm playing a poker night. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, we got to have something fun. It's just you got to do something. I was like, poker night. I haven't played poker in so fucking long. Like, we're doing a poker night
When is this happening and at what time? In whose
next
house?
weekend.
Okay.
So anyways, I'm thinking of people I want to invite. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, who'd be good? Because you start inviting people, and then as that list goes on, it really starts dictating who else you invite. Because then you start thinking, well, you can't have this person in the room with this person because then this is gonna be brought. Like I have a buddy here who I know if I put in the room with another buddy, there's going to be a political fight that breaks out, and I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like these two people you can't have in the same room at the same time. And you start. So anyways, but then something else comes up with a person who I'm going to be as vague as possible because I wouldn't want I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, even though he would never listen to the show, I'm sure. But maybe one day it might happen. But there's a person who I feel bad for. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm like, he would really like to come. He would love to be invited to this.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, he would love to be invited to this. But I also don't want to sit in a room with him. I know I would end up getting irritated. Like, oh my God, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This is why you're alone. You know what I mean? This is why
Yeah.
no one wants to, even though you want to hang out with people so fucking bad. And then I fucking, it's me and my girl talking about it. And I was like, hey, look up when his birthday is. And then we'll invite him to something like that, like on his birthday. So then, you know what I mean? And then it thought up this whole process. Like, people you don't want to hang out with, you just figure out days that they can't do something and then invite them to do something on that day. Like, can't come to the poker night. Oh man, what a bummer that you can't fucking make it. Is that horribly wrong? That's evil? But would you do something like that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to just have that friend that we didn't want to hang out with, really, but we're like, all right, let's all get together and let's go see so and so, and we'll all go over there and we'll hang out with him for a bit and we'll see him, and then we'll fucking leave and go do something. But it was just like, but if I don't know, maybe it's kind of a nice thing, as opposed to just being like, done with you.
Yeah.
It's okay to cut people out of your life. So I mean, I get feeling sorry for them. No, I wouldn't invite them to poker game. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for a poker game, but now I got to go buy chips and a table and chairs. So it's turning into a whole fucking thing.
Ugh. You can just buy the tabletop.
No, I'm gonna. Because it's gonna be.
You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a necessity thing because I've always wanted the nice fold-out plastic tables. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this gives me a good excuse to go buy a nice one of those. And we need backyard chairs, the little green chairs. I want those, stackable chairs. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be another good reason to go buy those. Just shit
I
we
can't
need
stand it
anyways.
when people get too drunk at a poker game. Ugh. Because then they talk and talk and talk, and it's like their turn to fucking check or bet, and it's like it's telling a story now, and it's like,
if it's poker
oh my
night,
God.
I love drinking as much as the next guy. One nice thing about the people I'm inviting is none of them are big drinkers at all. One's AA, so it shouldn't be that way at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm a gambler. Like, people keep asking me, hey, as I invite people, they're like, what's going to be the buy-in and shit like that? I'm like, we're going to say $20, but I'm like, I'll go as hard as the next person because I'm here to gamble and I want to have fun. And the higher that number is, the more fucking extreme this game's going to get. Because you know me, I'm very competitive. And the higher the shit goes, the more serious it's going to get. I'll drink, but I ain't getting drunk. I ain't going to be, I'm going to be very focused on, like, I'm going to beat everyone here. Like, I love poker for that. And I can't believe it's been so long since I played. I'd love to go. Have you ever gone to casinos and played? Like, tournaments? You ever entered in one of those?
No.
They're fun, but they're extreme. They're very intimidating to me. I've done one of them, and fucking, it's just, I was pretty young, and I got very scared. I was like, this is too extreme. The dealer is like so focused in a big fucking circle of people, and it's more fun to be a little bit more relaxed than that. But I wish I could get into that.
I enjoy it a lot. I'll play for hours and hours, but I'm not going to go in hardcore unless I have good cards. So if I have shit cards before I even see the cards that come out, I'm folding. I'm fucking folding machine until I have something good, and I'm like, all right, now I'll fucking go all the way. But I need good cards to go all the way with. And that's not how you're exactly supposed to do it. But
and I'm the exact opposite. Is I'm like at heart, I'm so gambling and all in orient. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't wait until I have good cards. You
could play without even looking. You play without even looking.
Yeah. I try to bully people. I get too confident on cards. I start playing like this weird statistic game in my head to where I'm like, okay, these cards aren't that good, but you know, what's the chances that, you know, yeah, and I start talking statistics out in my head. I'm like, I think we're good. You know, I think this, you know, pair of jacks, we got river flop. The chances I might hit my 10 for a 2, you know, I think we're good. I think let's start going heavy on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like the dude with pocket rockets is sitting there. I'm like, the chance he has it is.
Yeah.
I think we're good on these jacks. We're good. Let's make this interesting. You know what I mean? Fucking da 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 da. Da. I end up being the first person out a lot.
Yeah.
I remember this.
It's a good time.
We used to play all the time when I was younger. I remember this one poker game we had, probably the last poker game I ever played. But we're ever at a buddy's house, and he was the executive chef at Trinity that I worked at, and like all these kids are there, and we're going serious. Like we were playing fucking poker, and I do that. I'm all in, and I'm a broke person, so I've already done my buy-in, but I don't have enough money for a rebuy. You know, I put my $20 in or whatever, but I don't have another 20 to get in.
Yeah, your last.
And
20.
I lose it to the executive chef dude, and fucking I'm like fucking, you know, it's still like early. It's early in the night, you know what I mean? I go out in fucking 10 minutes into the fucking tournament. You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh god, yeah, I'm so mad." And fucking it was so funny. The chef turns to me and he's like, "I'll buy you back in, but you got to mow my lawn." But he made it to his sentences. He beats me, I'm fucking pissed. And he goes, "Hey, I'll buy you back in if you," and by the time when he hit the M and mow, I go, "Done." You know what I mean? And fucking everyone at the table, dude, died for minutes. You know what I mean? They're like, "Wow, you are a fucking addict." I'm like, yeah, done. Fucking buy me in. Let's go. Come on. Clickety clackety, clickety clackety.
Yeah. If
And
you
then I had to go mow his lawn.
motorboat my balls.
Yeah. Like, okay. Guess that's what we're
I also
in.
hate when everyone checks around the whole table and then it gets back to the last person and he's like, $1. And you're like, oh my God. I just get impatient and I'm like, let's fucking go. That's why I don't want people telling stories about their work week.
Yeah.
I don't want people betting when they're the last person and everybody else is checked. I'm like, I want to see the fucking cards.
Okay,
just
I
get
will
impatient.
say, what you just did, that is an irritating move. If he
Yeah.
were to go, because that's a gentleman's thing. You know, I'm no like poker expert, but I know that like that's not allowed. I even think when you're in a casino, you can't bet under the original bet amount. You know what I mean? Like in that scenario where it's check, 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 and let's
Yeah.
say the ante is, you can't bet under the ante or the last like bet. If the first person had bet 100 and you make it to you can't bet 50. I think there's rules on that, like in certain, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. Whatever. But I know you at least have to like match the ante. You know what I mean? You can't like go under ante on in that scenario.
Yeah.
Fucking, but what I hate more is people who, because I remember in high school, I was friends with this group and it got very serious. Like there was, every weekend there was poker at this certain kid's house and there was a lot of money, you know what I mean? And and then the poker game would go out and they'd be playing craps in the corner. It was like, it was fun as shit. And
Nice.
fucking, but there was a few people that would play poker in this group that took it way too fucking serious. Like I'm into like being serious about it and betting, but then there's like
Do you like wearing sunglasses.
Oh yeah, sunglasses every time, and then like taking it so serious, like breaking rules down. You know what I mean? You can't fucking, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, bro. You know, like I remember my first poker game. My buddy Rob Robinson taught me how to play, and fucking, we spent like an hour at his house before, and he teaches me. I think I must have been a sophomore, and then he takes me to these kids' house, and they're all older than me. They're all juniors and seniors that are playing this poker tournament. And fucking, we get in this poker tournament. I make some of the luckiest moves all night long. And the game was 2 tables of 10 people. And then it fucking went down until then went into 1 table and we combined. I think once it got to 5 people on one and 5 people on the other, we combined down. And I'm in that final table. It's like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And there's like 6 people left at the table. and I'm like just getting lucky as fuck. And there's a certain kid who takes it super fucking serious, and I really don't even know what I'm doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm very novice, and the person deals the flop. I don't exactly remember what happened, but I think they dealt the flop and then dealt the next card over on accident, the river, you know what I mean? Or something like that. And
Turn.
I fucking I call the I should have folded. I can't remember exactly what happened, but like in that scenario, I should have folded. And I didn't fold, and I called the bet or whatever. And
Yeah.
fucking it ended up being that river card or the flop or whatever was the card I needed. And it was a fuck up
Yeah.
on the dealer's part, but it was like dude, and this kid lost his fucking mind. Like freaked the fuck out. And he's like, and I didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, yeah, call it. And he's like, you wouldn't have fucking called the fucking card. Fuck you. You can't fucking do. No one would have done that. Fuck you, you piece of shit. And like, yeah, Storm throws his glasses across the room. Like, no one would have fucking done that. And then you'd go over to their house and they would be like watching poker tournament every day. And it was just like, you guys are taking it way too far. Like I don't know. I don't know why we got on that.
But if we have a poker game, I always watch the movie Rounders before I go over.
Yeah, I can't do that. I find it way too boring. I don't know how someone could sit there. I like tried.
It's a great
when I
movie.
was- No. Like watching WPT or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm not
Fucking-
watching that.
I don't get why you would watch that. That's so
No, it's
boring.
stupid.
I
Yeah,
would
it
rather
is.
watch golf, hands down, than watch World Poker Tour.
They're pretty equal.
Yeah, I'd
I
watch
can't
golf
watch
over WPT.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know what your IQ is?
No, but I've always wanted to know.
I'd be curious to know.
Can you
'Cause-
do it? How do you do it?
You go to an IQ, do an IQ test online.
That's it?
Yeah,
I might have to do that.
you should do it. Like about a year ago. About a year ago, I did it. I did the IQ test, and I can't remember anything that was really on it, but I got a 103, which is 90 to 110 is considered average intelligence, and I got a 103. And you're allowed like a 3-point sway or whatever. So I'm just average. I'm like dead average intelligence wise, and it's just interesting to kind of know. And like
don't
51% of the population is in that average range, right? And
What
above
were the
one,
questions like? You have no idea.
can't
You don't
remember.
remember at all. Was it
can't
multiple
remember.
choice? Was it leaning math? Was it leaning like English? Was it
I
like
think it was a lot of multiple choice. Is that a real cat?
nope?
And then above 130 is considered very gifted, and only 2% of the population is above that. Like Quentin Tarantino is above that, Natalie Portman's above that, Conan O'Brien's above that. And then there's an interesting thing I found after I learned my IQ. I just went and found lists of like IQ by professions, because it's basically saying like the average IQ of like psychiatrists or whatever is in this range, and like the average IQ of janitors is like in this range. So it's basically like, since I'm 103, I could never be. I'm statistically, I am never gonna be these certain professions. Just basically, I could rule it out of your life that you're just never gonna be those things, like an astronaut or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's interesting to know. And it's like under
If you
85.
haven't ruled out astronaut by yet,
Yeah, it was just kind
I'm doubting your 103.
No, it was just kind of humbling to be like, oh, I'll never be those things ever because of my IQ. And it's like under 85, you're considered like a slow person, and it's like it's illegal for the military to enlist someone with an IQ under 85. It's like there's like certain rules and stuff for where you fall, where your IQ is. I feel like there's those.
So
there's
they
just, like,
give you an
certain
IQ
rules.
test when you join the military?
I don't know.
Well, or they just kind of figure that out with your ASVAB or whatever?
Yeah, maybe. I took that twice. But
Was it
I'm
Matt?
a one.
You don't
I'm,
remember what it was leaning? Was it just equal amounts of like all different like questions, or was it? I would
Yeah.
assume it would be like very math based, is what I would assume.
There's
I don't
definitely
know.
some math and like word problems and stuff, and I don't know. I maybe I should take it again. Maybe see if I can do better than 103. But I mean, I'm like, well, at least I'm average. That's
Do you remember how long it
fine
took?
with me. 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do it now.
I'm curious to know what you score.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious too.
It would, and I wonder if it'd be nice to be above 130 because then there's like that Mensa. There's a group called Mensa, and it's like this like society of people that join, but you have to have an IQ over like 140 or 150 or something, and it's like a high IQ society that like people
Yeah.
are joined into. But it's like it's interesting to know who is up there because like Quentin Tarantino has the same IQ as like Stephen Hawking. It's just kind of like weird.
Real talk?
Yeah. And like Natalie Portman's above Quentin Tarantino. She's like fucking smart. But old Brad is average, 103.
I don't know if Quentin Tarantino is gonna score higher than Stephen Hawkins. That is a bold statement.
Look it up.
And I want to
Look
see.
it up.
I don't care what propaganda he's fucking putting out into the world. Fucking, that is a bold statement.
Look it up.
And he's just there making movies. We have some fucking super genius out there that's just wasting his time making fucking Pulp Fiction and shit. I doubt it.
Okay, down it.
I don't buy it. I don't buy
Look
it. The
it up.
Natalie Portman thing, I could buy. I still wouldn't assume that she'd score higher than Stephen Hawking.
Well, she like went to Harvard and knows like 6
Yeah, I
languages
knew
and
all that shit.
Yeah,
I knew she was super smart, but
Yeah.
I still. am
Well,
just gonna be
I
like,
guess just because
oh, they're smarter than like one of the most famous astrophysicists in the fucking world. Seems a little fucking far, a little bit of a stretch to fucking say that. And
that
there
seems
they
like
are.
a weird thing to like not accept someone's IQ. Like that they're lying about it. I think just because of what your IQ is, I guess doesn't exactly show what your profession's going to be or what you're into. So like maybe some garbage
scored,
man.
Okay. If you scored extremely high on your IQ, and then it
Yeah.
was like kind of known in the world, and you knew this about yourself, like, oh, I am like exceptionally a gifted person. I'm like way above the average. Don't you feel some kind of duty then, like that? You should be doing something more beneficial with your time because you are in the 1% of
So if you
gifted
somehow score like
thinkers.
150, you're going to be like, I quit my job. I have to start writing about society.
Yeah.
No, maybe
Yeah,
some
they're
garbage
like,
man
oh,
out
that
there.
was a mistake. That was actually a 15. And you're like, ah, shit. It's just like, I just quit my job and fucking signed a publishing contract. God damn it.
Maybe some garbage man out there has never taken an IQ test, and then he takes it, and he's like 60 years old, and he's like, "Oh, I'm as smart as Stephen Hawking." Like I said, I don't think it necessarily means you're like as smart as that person. It just means you're just good at taking an IQ test.
I'm just a really good test taker. I'm not that smart. I'm just a really good test taker.
Well, thankfully, I'm above, retardation. Thankfully, I'm average.
I'm nervous that I might come out as a retard.
Look, and
Let
it
me
said
be
the
honest with
average.
I'm kind of retarded.
It said the average janitor is like under 85 or something, and I've been a janitor before. So it's like it doesn't. I don't think it maybe necessarily projects your
I mopped a few floors.
career. Yeah.
I'd be really bummed. I'd be nervous because if I scored low on it, I would be I would be bummed. I'd be like, yep, I'm a retard.
Yeah, that
Kind of
would be
nice not knowing
be
because
shitty.
then there's like a mystery. You're like, no, I could be genius. You know what I mean?
Right.
I could be a genius. And it's kind of nice to have that thought process. Like, no, I could be a genius.
And I know that I'm not.
Yeah, and then to know you're not is kind of degrading. You're like,
That's
"Ah,
what
I'm just-"
That's what all I was saying. I was just saying it's humbling to be like, oh, I'll never be a genius. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could be a director. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I guess with the names you're throwing out, you'll never be a director because I guess you have to be a fucking genius to be a director.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's just maybe I should take it again. See if I score higher.
Well, you got more shit? I'm ready to go fucking work in the yard, bud. Like, I'm
Just
itching.
quickly, I was listening to my old radio show, and they talked for like an hour about trying to figure out how many men it would take to kill a polar bear.
With
it was
their
a
bare
really-
hands?
Yeah, and it was a really interesting conversation.
Oh, it would take a grip. At least 50 guys.
With no weapons.
With
But they could
zero weapons.
They could strategize, of course. But then
Beforehand?
yeah.
Zero tools. No ropes, no
No.
sticks, no nothing. Just barehanded. You know
Yeah.
how fucking hard it's going to be to kill a bear?
Well, there's going to be a lot of people that die.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot
The bear
of
ain't
people
getting tired either. The bear's going to be swiping through people left and fucking right.
Well, then it comes down to like how do you actually kill it? Like if you get on top of it, like what are you going to do? Are you going to go for its eyes? Like how are you going to actually kill it? And it's like whoever the first person is that's running at the bear, he's going down like that.
I have this theory. I think about dogs a lot. I don't know why. This fucking movie plays out in my head all the time about how I would react to being attacked by like a big dog. And like I have a plan in my head to like what I would do. And I really feel like the same would go for a bear too. Is like what you got to do is get into the mouth, either fuck the eyes up or get into the mouth. And I plan like if a dog ever attacks me, hopefully it has a collar on and I'm fucking lunging my fucking hand as far into the throat as absolutely possible. And I'm just going to keep going. Just keep driving into the throat and try to kill the dog that way. And just fucking tearing shit up into the like, yeah, your hand's going to get bit and shit, but I want my fucking forearm past his mouth to where I'm just, and I feel like
I don't know if that would work with a bear.
well, you're going to be bitten a lot, but if you can get, you have a group of people, you get 50 guys, 25 of them are on limb duty to where all your job is to grab onto a limb and you hold on for dear life. All 4 legs, you get 4 guys on each fucking leg to where he's having problems now fucking dealing with the 400, 500 pounds he's got on each limb. And then you have another group, at least 25 people dedicated. You have 15 people dedicated to eye duty and 15 people dedicated to mouth duty. And so you got 15 people that all their job is to start poking eyes. And so you just poke the bear's eyes out. Just, bah, bah, just people poking fucking eyes. That's all your job is. And then the rest of the people is once one dude's arm gets bitten off, you shove your arm in. And you got to fucking just start getting in there and just digging as far as you can into that mouth. And just choke it out and just do as much damage as you can internally into their throat and shit. And just fucking... And hopefully you get them bogged down to where they're doing this, and you just choke them out. You choke them to death because they can't fucking breathe.
Yeah,
that's my theory. That's the only way you're killing
the
it.
bear could just be like that and just launch everybody off of him?
Yeah. That's why you at least have 25 people on limb duty, and you just you're gonna lose half of those people easily. You're just really hoping that the mouth crew is doing a really good fucking job. Like, you got to hope that they brought their A game. You got Kimbo Slice in there, shoving his fucking hand down that bear's throat. Just going to town.
It's going to be bad. Do you ever look at your dog and just be like, I think I could take you if your brain just like snapped and it was a fucking full
honestly,
on?
that's what I mean. With that thought process, I've thought about it so much, I think I could kill any dog. It would suck, but like those dogs you see in police videos, the problem is you're running. You can't run from a dog like that. They're gonna catch you, and they're gonna fuck you up. So you got to just deal with that. There's gonna be blood. Like, you're getting fucked up, but you're killing that dog. Like, it's the only, if your dog, if like I've seen your dog, if he came at me like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you don't run, because he's gonna get you, and he's gonna fuck you up. So it's like, you better hope he has a collar, and you just start shoving that hand down his throat. Just digging, grabbing anything you can fucking find. Just fucking grab. If you get something in your hand, fucking twist it and just keep shoving down there until you can get in his fucking lungs and shit. And you just start just noodling shit in there.
I broke up a dog fight once, a really, really bad one, between a pit bull and a boxer, and it was just me alone, and it was really, really impossible to do. because what I needed was another person. It was so impossible to try to do by yourself. And I was punching these dogs, right? And there was blood everywhere. I was bleeding. Both the dogs were bleeding. One dog had a huge chunk ripped out of his face, the boxer. And both dogs, and they stopped feeling pain because they just couldn't feel any pain at that point. It was fucking.
They're in
it
kill
was
mode.
so bad. Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah,
And they have,
fights
like-
are no bueno.
They gripped each other's faces, and then it was just a tug of war, like. And then if you could ever get them to break that, then they would just get back to grip again, and then they would just tug of war. And I was like punching one dog's head, bam, bam, and it was like not letting go, right? It was so shitty, and everyone was bleeding. And I had I don't know what I was doing. I had my hand down in the pit bull's mouth, trying to break her grip free. It was fucking stupid. And
So
then,
what I've heard is you're supposed to, but you couldn't have done it with one person. But
No,
I think
you
you're
couldn't
supposed
have.
to lift their back feet. You're supposed to have each person grab the back feet and lift up and then pull apart. And they can't they lose too much of their equilibrium and shit. They break apart. I think that's the.
I know the
the
trick.
theory.
I know what to do now because this was in a house that I lived at here with like 8 people in it, and I was home alone, which was statistically like unlikely to be when we had like 8 people in it, and these 2 dogs just fucking started trying to kill each other, and as soon as you could get them to let go of their grip, then you're holding both of them with each hand with the collars, and you could do that for a little amount of time. I mean, these were strong fucking dogs. You could do it for a couple seconds, but then you're like, what do I do from here? And so then they like just fucking find each other again, and you're just trying to. And I'm like, I'm just gonna start hitting these dogs, boom, and they were just not letting go. Eventually, someone else showed up, and then we could be like, okay, you take that one, and I'll take this one. And then when they finally let go, then you could separate them because you had 2 people. And I was like, fuck, man. And my hand was fucking just covered in blood. And then all the roommates came home, and I told them what happened. I'm like, dude, these 2 dogs tried to kill each other. Like, this is everything that happened. And they're like, Brad, you're overreacting. Like, this is you're clearly just being dramatic. And it's like, okay, fine, fuck it, let them go, let them fucking find each other again. Later that night, sure enough, they're like, we'll let the other dog out, let's see. And like as soon as they saw each other, boom, trying to kill each other again, gripping. Girls started crying. You know, one girl starts punching her dog, and I'm like, see what fucking happened, everybody. And then my buddy Tom takes his belt off and wraps it around one of the dog's necks and like pulls it, and the dog's like, and lets go, and then they separate them. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that was a really good idea. But it's fucking crazy. But I look at my dog, and I'm like, I think I could take you if it was just me and you were trying to kill me. But a bear, it's a different story.
Yeah, bears very very little chance, but
Yeah.
you got to have some serious numbers on your side. A dog would still be hard, but I always focus on the throat thing. You start because
Yeah.
inevitably they're gonna start choking and they're gonna try to get away from you, and then you just don't. That's why the collar would be very important. You either want a long-haired dog or a collar so that you can keep the force going in. Because if it's just your hand, they're just gonna back up from you, and they'll end up backing away to where they'll get their hand out. If you can grab that collar, fucking get in there.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
my dog, the golden, they're her size. Oh, I'll fuck that dog up. It'd be dogs like yours. It'd be the big dogs. They would be a little intimidating.
They stop feeling pain.
Yeah.
They just
like
go
a big
red.
German Shepherd, be hard, and especially like a trained dog. They're gonna jump. They're not only gonna bite. They're doing the jump thing. So you got to deal with the knockover problem. You know, the police dogs usually do a jump on the arm and start fucking ripping and shit like that, and it's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard because they're gonna have a mouthful of fucking arm.
Yeah. It's crazy because I feel like you just start dealing with something that's now just doesn't even care about their own.
But you got to attack. I think that's a big problem. Is like, and you got to be ruthless with it because it really wouldn't be that hard either to like break a dog's leg. Like if he's mounted up and has his legs like locked, you fucking give a good kick. Their bones aren't that big. You'll break that fucking bone. You know what I mean? So you got to start going for fucking. You got to go for blood. Like you got to fucking kill the dog. And it's like this is horrible. But if a dog's attacking me, I'm I'm killing the dog. Like I'm killing that dog.
Or attacking
I'm not
some
running
kid
away.
or some
I'm
kid
not
or some
running
lady.
away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Running away would be the worst because he's gonna be getting your
Well,
heels
yeah.
and shit and just ripping stuff apart as you're running.
I feel like I know what to do now, though. If I see some dog like attacking some kid or some lady, you just choke them, and they'll let go.
Yeah, I've
You
heard.
don't try to hit them. Don't try
I've
to hit
heard the
them.
legs is a good way to do it. Like you just
Okay,
lift
that's
their
a good
back legs,
idea.
and that keeps you also away from the faces. You know what I mean? You can be away from it and lift up the legs.
Yeah, this dog just had its teeth around the other dog's eye, and I thought I could feel like the eye juice, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this other dog's lost its eye." So I put my hand in there in the
Oh, my
pit bull's
God.
mouth, and I was trying to like pry it, but that was probably
crazy.
a really that was probably a really bad.
Yeah,
idea.
that's why you scored 103. Like fucking.
I like it was like later in the day, so I was already off work, but I like drove to my work with like my bloody hand to get the first aid stuff at work and like patch myself up. It was nuts. But yeah,
Dog.
don't want to fight animals.
Wow. Nope.
Episode 47.
Episode 47 in the books. We love you guys. I hope you have a good week. I hope it's as beautiful of a weekend wherever you're at. By the time you hear this, probably all be all over. But I hope you had a good weekend and have a good week. Can't wait for summer. The clock setting back is just a great fucking sign. It's almost all over with.
I don't mind starting my mornings when fucking daylight. It's fine with me. I like it. As opposed to pitch black.
Well, love you guys. Have a good one.
But I couldn't stand up on my own. Turns out sometimes you're stronger alone. Bringing out the fight, yeah, bring on all the lightning. 'Cause I'm looking for a hero. Look inside the mirror, I found one. Oh, carry the hurt when it gets too hard. Pick it up, dust it off. When I fall down 11, I get up 12. Don't need nobody else. Yeah, I can save myself. Got burned, but I learned. Our scars make us who we are. Now I'm 10 feet tall over my demons. Remind me no one's got me like myself. Yeah, I love me without any help. I'm the best thing to believe in. So I'm bringing out the fight, yeah, bring on all the lightning. 'Cause I'm looking for a hero. Look inside the mirror, I found one. Oh, carry the hurt when it gets too hard. Pick it up, dust it off. When I fall down 11, I get up 12. Don't need nobody else. Yeah, I can save myself. Oh, 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 oh. I could crumble into pieces, but I got a million reasons why I won't. 'Cause this heavy is a season, and the sun is always right behind the storm. Bringing out the fight, yeah, bring on all the lightning. 'Cause I'm looking for a hero. Look inside the mirror, I found one. Oh, carry the hurt when it gets too hard. Pick it up, dust it off. When I fall down 11, I get up 12. Don't need nobody else. Yeah, I can save myself. Save myself. Yeah, I can save myself.
We'll be back.